Alright, YouTube. Boon Headshot here. Welcome back. Happy to bring you a plus 10 Rookery. This will be a quick guide for the dungeon with the point of view from the Assassination Rogue. Starting off with this little mini boss here. He will shoot, you just saw it out, he will shoot out 3 orbs that boomerang back to him. Do not get hit by them. If you're melee, you just hang out behind him. You can see it charging up there with the black ground effects, and then they go out and come back. So, easy one to drop. Just watch where you're standing. We are playing the hybrid build for this dungeon, with all of the bosses in here being single target. It's going to help your overall DPS if you pick a spec that is more tailored towards single target damage. And I'm still playing around with all of them. There are 3 main specs that we're going to be using as the Assassination Rogue. The bleed build, the hybrid build, and then there is a modified hybrid build, which is more single target. And I haven't started playing around with that one just yet. I am still gathering all of the data here since we're still pretty fresh into Season 2. So, moving right along. These birds can hit you with a focus channel that you can, right there it is, I immediately cloak it. It's just a lightning bolt that hits you over time that the healer has to heal you through. Use feint for it, and then don't stand in these circles. So the Storm Rooks are your priority targets, but make sure you're utilizing Focus Kick for the casters, because they are in there as well. I guess we're going here first. Rotation for Season 2 has not changed. Apply your bleeds, all 3 of them, to all targets after you get Crimson Tempest out. Make sure Spatter is going. And then you use your cooldowns, which is what you just witnessed happen there. You can get your cooldowns off reliably before the first boss at least twice. I started with the first pack, and then just then. So normally you would lust going into the packs, one of the packs up here, just to have it up in time, but I think we saved it for the first boss. I think it'll go off during the first boss. You do have to clear this entire room because of the Mythic mechanic that you have to work through. And you'll see that coming up here in just a second. So, Krios will put circles on the ground similar to the Storm Rooks that you are watching now, as well as creates the laser beams that you have to run around in. During that laser beam phase, there will also be circles on the ground that you will have to dodge. So it's best if you stay stacked. And Tank decided to chain pull into the boss here, so you'll get to see all of it with some extra ads going. Here is that spinning phase, so ideally you want to try to stay stacked with the group to control where all those circles come down. If you get too far in front of the group, like what you just saw, you can cause some chaos for your party. So you see me correct myself after I realized my mistake. But that's the fight right there. He'll put some big circles on you that you can't stack for. You'll have to spread. Those are there. And the fight's rinse and repeat. Avoid the circles, move in unison, and he'll go down pretty easy. Damn it. I accidentally snapshotted the improved growth. I suck. Since you don't know which way the lasers are going to rotate around the boss, you want to stay in the middle of the two that you are closest to. That way if they rotate and you guess wrong, you don't accidentally get nuked from being on the wrong side of them. Everything's fine. And that's a 360 for everybody that is watching. So I have read that you should not release the birds here, since they give you damage that you can accidentally pull ads with. So float to the bottom, use your charge to get down to the bottom as quickly as possible without letting birds out. They ask for Shroud here. We're gonna skip this first pack. The pain in the rear ads for these are these diffusers that you are going to see. These are the priority. They're gonna put a pulling mechanic that tries to pull you into the circle, as well as a big circle around one player that will do damage to anybody that's still inside it. So, not the most fun to deal with. See, cooldowns went out against this guy. Tanks, if you are having a hard time getting downstairs, try to avoid double pulling diffusers. Every time I attempt to run a 10 or an 11 with these and we double pull diffusers, at least right now with the gear that's available, it is killing the parties. So that might change as we all get up to like max gear 670 stuff. But just keep that in mind when you are running a route in here. The crushers are crushing. And then the crusher adds, they just jump to people and do damage. So if you're a healer, just be ready for quick bursts, heals back out on people that get jumped on. So same thing here. If you pull both those diffusers with that pack, um, it can be overwhelming. So just be careful, know your group whenever you are
Oh, it hurts.
pulling stuff. So right there you saw my mistake of staying in the circle and cheat death went off. So at least I had that to save me, but I only get that once every 6 minutes. So just watch where you stand. This healer's doing better in this 10 than he did in the 8. All right, Storm Guard Gorin. Um, you're seeing his hammer slam go out with those columns that then shoot across the map. You cannot get hit by them. You can use cloak to ignore them if you're in like a damage window and you have to stay on the boss. But his biggest mechanic, you're watching it jump around the party right now, is like that hot potato dot that touches everybody. If it grabs you a second time, it does significantly more damage. So you have to watch everybody that has it. They get a little dark cloud debuff around them. Now it's on me. You want to trade it to somebody that does not have it yet, and you do that just by being close to them. It will jump to the closest person after its debuff timer runs out on you. So if it jumps back to you as a rogue, you can save yourself with cloak, but when you cloak it, it will jump to the closest person. So it starts on me, and I just let it run its course. And I used cloak there to ignore the damage going out because Kingsbane was rolling. But that is his fight. You avoid the dark circles, and you pass the dot around to everybody so that they only deal with it once. If you get it a second time and the healer's on it, you'll be okay, but if you get it a third time, it will most certainly drop you. So keep an eye on where that purple arrow is, and make sure you give it to the people that have not had it yet. Oh, I might be dying. We're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. This is not a friendly melee fight because of all of the waiting that you'll have to do with his AoEs. You'll have to wait for him to land with that. You have to wait for him to leave the area of affected ground there. You have to run around and give the dot to somebody if they're not coming in to trade it. So, not melee friendly. Not bad, not bad, not bad. These ascendants create 4 orbs around them. You'll see them materialize and then they shoot off. Similar to the orbs from Zekvir in Season 1, if you went for that challenge delve, there they go there. And then 4 more will happen at a different position around them. So you'll, as melee, need to watch where they're forming and stand between them so that you do not get killed by them. They will kill you if you get touched by them. There's another 360 for you.
We will have to go down the Storm Rider way. Follow me.
These civilians don't add a lot of percentage to the amount of mobs that you kill. But they will hurt you, as you just watched the Demon Hunter get deleted. So wait for the Paladin to get them grouped, or your tank to get them grouped before you start going off. Once they start to die, they leave, they explode and can hurt you. So be careful where you're standing. The big void adds here will put a pulsing circle on the ground. You will see it come out here soon. As melee, if you're stacking, it's very easy to deal with. You just stack into one spot and move to a safe spot. If you are all spread around the boss when this starts going off, there it is now. You won't leave yourself an area where you can get safe and also still DPS. So try to stack with one or two of the people in melee range for that mechanic, and you'll get through it just fine. A quick tip here, with the Ascendants in these big groups, it's hard to see where the orbs are coming out. Make sure you are paying attention when she starts to make those orbs and fire them away from her. It can be hard to see with everything going on. There they come, and there they go. We used Vanish right there just to help spread out bleeds for those normals, even though they didn't live long. You get the energy back when they die. Chain pulling again, dude. Alright, we are coming up on the last boss, the Voidstone Monstrosity. I think I'm throwing cooldowns here so that they can be back in time for the damage amp, and I used them too late. I think for the first damage amp, I am missing them. This group was just too good with DPS, as you'll see coming up. So keep that in mind. There is a damage amp phase for this boss that you want to save your big cooldowns for, or time them out so that they're ready for the damage amp window. Yeah, I should have used them on this pack, and I'm going to use them against this Ascendant here. And that will be a mistake, as you'll see. With this weekly affix of grabbing the orbs, it is quite the challenge for this boss, because on this boss you have to spread out around this horseshoe here to deal with his mechanic. If you fail his mechanic, an ad will spawn that almost always will wipe the raid. The ad does pulsing AoE raid wipe damage. So if the tank's in one spot, the healer should almost always be in the middle, and then you find an area that's not being utilized. There will be 3 spires that come out, and you should be getting a blue circle around you. You have to break the spire. There's the circle, and there's the spire. So you need to make sure that that blue circle is touching the spire. Sometimes it's within melee range of the boss, sometimes it's not. That's just the way she goes on this one. And then with the affix, save sprint to get to your groups, to get rid of your orb, and then get back in position on whichever side of the horseshoe that you're working on. So there's the damage amp phase. You can see I don't have any cooldowns for it. The only thing that you can do is throw Shiv during Darkest Night. That's all you've got if you don't got the cooldowns. Otherwise, you're gonna save them for these areas of the fight. You will hear the boss scream out, "It hurts." When you hear "it hurts," that means it's time to go. So save everything big for when it hurts.
We would, especially for 10. Why does it gotta be so far away?
You can hear me in the background complaining about how far away it is. All I'm able to do is hit them with fan of knives. It hurts, and cooldowns are out.
Have Kingsbane for the next one. That early.
Overall, this dungeon's pretty easy. Everybody is comparing it to Arakara from Season 1. There's just a couple things that you have to watch out for that will delete you pretty quick. This is every bit of a big healer fight as it is for using your cooldowns correctly as DPS, because the healer has to run around and be very mobile to keep everybody alive, because we're all having to spread so far to deal with those spire mechanics. But that's the fight, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see ya on the next one.